Hi, hey, howdy, hello. We're back. Our last episode of the year for Culture Lab from VCU Brandcenter, and we have a special guest doing our introduction, Mr. Van Graves himself. If we can have a round of applause, a little soundtrack going on in the back.
Well, welcome. Good to be here, and congratulations on your last episode of the semester. Bravo. Well done.
Thank you.
It's great to be here.
Thank you. Do you have a trend this year that you personally enjoyed like the most? Or do you have like a stim that you say like every day that's kind of like just stuck in your head?
So I do, but I can't say it on the mic. It's usually about you guys and how you're acting up every day.
Oh, it's fine.
And this crew is usually on the top of the list, but that's beside the point.
I'm John, by the way.
And I'm Bree.
I'm Ann.
And I'm Van.
Hey, welcome to Culture Lab.
We
You guys are amazing.
Try it, we have an ongoing beef, but it's all love here at Brandcenter.
Yeah, so you talked a little bit about the stims. Do you want to get us kicked off with your favorite of the year?
Oh, yes. So my favorite stim of the year definitely has to be, I'm on French Talk a lot, like French TikTok. Shout out to the Francophone people. And right now there's this trending song of this guy from the Caribbean, and he's like, come over, back it up, gal. And like everybody in my family has been saying it. So I'm just in class randomly, and I'm like, back it up, gal. And I think it has a remix, and I feel like Vibes Cartel might remix it. So I'm excited.
Okay, nice.
That's, to be honest, that's a crazy call, but I'm glad you were able to get a lot of value out of it.
Thank you.
And, similarly for me, it's just one I gained a lot of value from. Justin Bieber, it's not clocking to me. It became part of my vernacular, and it's just such a phrase that works so well. It's not like I'm obsessed with Bieber or anything, but the phrase "it's not clocking to me" has now worked its way into my life in a way where I can't not give it a lot of credit.
That's true for me too, honestly. I love saying that. But for me, I would say that my favorite stem of this year is They Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. If you haven't heard, Drake and Kendrick were having a huge beef earlier this year, and he came out with this song called They Not Like Us, and it just kind of took over the entire culture. So I find myself saying that more than I like to. So yeah.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but they've heard. And also, we're recording this on Spotify Rap Day, and I got the news that Kendrick was my top artist of the year. Didn't see that coming, but
Proving my point.
Yeah, the point's been proved
Yes.
for sure. Well, so with those kind of favorite things in mind, do you guys want to talk a little bit about what we're thinking about going forward?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, first topic here, talk about Instagram. How do we feel? Do we think Instagram is going to keep its place as kind of the influencer, stronghold? Instagram feels like the place where influencers make their money, right? Like it's the gold standard. But, in a different age, it's starting to feel a little inadequate now. Do we think it's going to keep its place?
Me personally, I don't think Instagram is ever going to die. There's always going to be that subset of people who want to show photographs of themselves doing different things. So because of that, I don't think it's going to die necessarily. I think it's going to evolve. From my understanding, there are a lot of bots and stuff on Instagram, and that's what's making it so difficult for these influencers to make their money. So if anything, maybe people may move to a different platform, but that's what I think.
Another year TikTok grows more legitimate. It's interesting to see how influencers have kind of like started to game the system a little bit, and I feel like consumers are kind of like hip to an influencer product now too. It's got to get a lot more authentic, but also a lot more creative, and sometimes those things don't always mix well.
No.
Yeah, I think when we talk about the death or potential death of Instagram, we have to know all of the apps that came and went, and the fact that Instagram still stood the test of time tells you something. It's something so, although there's a lot of like granted ads and different posts, sometimes like when I scroll through my For You page now, I don't even see half half of the people I follow, but just the fact that it's here has to say something and set a standard to other applications and how they use it. I feel like it's going to never be the same. Of course, it's going to be one of those conversations that we add to our 2016 list about how certain things are just not how it used to be. But I don't think that it's necessarily going to go away. I just think they have to figure out a way in order to make sure that their users have a more authentic experience and get back to that connective social aspect of Instagram with a little bit of ads placed here and there.
Social or parasocial?
It's going to be parasocial regardless because of a lot of upcoming reality shows like Love Island and all these other things. So there's always going to be a parasocial aspect to it. Like even me growing up, we had parasocial relationships with the members of O2L, with 5 Seconds of Summer, One Direction on Instagram, but it wasn't so in your face with that. Nowadays, people are going to have to deal with that in your face aspect, but you can still build a lot of community through Instagram, I believe, compared to other applications.
I agree with everything you said. Yeah, for sure.
It's got nothing on ChatGPT shopping, though. I'm just saying, you know, like.
So, speaking of that, did we want to talk about how Claire's is kind of no longer a thing for tweens? Like, what's going on with that?
Whew.
That's crazy.
This has been a topic I've been very passionate about since I was a tween. The death of tween culture has really shifted how pop culture is formed today because of a lot of children between the ages of 9 and 12 don't have that middle ground of awkwardness in order to evolve into a teenager, then become a full-fledged adult. Like growing up, we used to have Justice. We went from the Children's Place to Justice, Forever 21, H&M.
That's right.
Then you went to Zara. Now, kids nowadays, they're going straight from Children's Place to Fashion Nova. I don't want to shop on the same site and fight for clothes with a 9-year-old. I can't do this with my life. I'm already fighting the kids at Sephora for my products. They shouldn't even be touching Drunk Elephant. And I feel like a lot of brands are missing that third space that you can get loyalty from a very young age from these tweens in order to have them be loyalists for life.
I agree with you 100%. I feel like tweens are that, excuse me, niche group of people that get looked over all the time. And I feel like brands can pay attention to that because there's a lot of opportunity for them to step in and kind of give into that demand of having tween culture again. Like, yeah, where did the awkward phase go?
Well, it went to Sephora. That's where it is. And I feel like it has a little bit to do with, you know, normal content and normal like development. I never like to be that person who's like, oh, kids just aren't kids anymore, you know, because like everyone goes through their different generational things. But it's so weird how the content people will be consuming at Brandcenter is the same content like a 12-year-old consumes. And TikTok has made it so strange. There is now a huge opportunity for tween culture to come back though. And I think people are starting to get there, but it'll be interesting to see because it's a really hard market to like, you know, hit without being kind of weird or a little bit predatory. So we'll have to see kind of, you know, what can get there.
I feel like there should be more representation of tweens in media. Like when we're shooting advertisements for different brands, even if it's a family brand, we should have some that are dedicated towards middle schoolers and tweens. So that way they can see themselves in media. And as well as if you go to like beauty products and stuff, just make a subsidiary line or a sub brand underneath that bigger brand that's dedicated to tweens, that have safe ingredients and products for them. Because as an aunt of 8, I'm so tired of telling my kids, no, you can't have that. You're not old enough. You quite literally cannot consume that. It's not good for you. I'd rather have a safe alternative where they still feel seen and have autonomy on themselves, but can also explore different aspects of what it's like to be in that weird area. Because we were all once awkward, weird tweens that didn't know what's going on and wanted to be older than what we were. Let's have brands step up and make that space for them.
Well, so, you know, moving on from that a little bit, it's, you know, funny to think I was kind of a tween when GTA 5 came out.
I was too.
I mean, I was, I guess, fully teenager, but like still very much awkward phase of life. And we kind of now have experienced this trend of things we got before GTA 6 came out. Hopefully next year we get this thing, but it's just super funny to think about all the things that we actually got before this came out. We're talking
Yes.
all of Stranger Things, we're talking multiple World Cups, we're talking about like the rise of Fortnite, we're talking about the rise of Apple, really.
Yeah.
Like life has very much moved.
I'm getting my master's degree before GTA 6 is insane to say.
It's pretty crazy, honestly. But I think it's really exciting to see the ramp up of it all, seeing how people are waiting for this game to come out and how people are still loyal, even though it's been such a long time. That really speaks to how dedicated and loyal their fan base is.
The fan base is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about it a little bit before we started recording, but like we're talking about economies within economies. I don't even know how Rockstar can just turn to these people and be like, nope, stop playing, move to a different game. People have lives built on this thing.
Yeah.
But equally, it's a huge opportunity. This is going to be a cultural moment on cultural moments when this game finally comes out, and I'm really excited to see like who's actually able to like play with that space in a way that's earnest with these people. It's so easy to make crude jokes about GTA. Everyone knows the old school versions of it, but it's also just such a huge thing. You know, there's so much room to play.
It's so much room to play, and there's so many people that actually make careers off of Grand Theft Auto, the series in general. People like AMP Phantom, Typical Gamers, Van Ross Gaming really built their platform and communities based off of GTA roleplay, which is a very essential part of Grand Theft Auto. It kind of just showed like the different attributes that you can do with a game that's been out for such a long time. And I feel like whatever GTA does in order to launch this new game, you can't forget the people that helped create the game be more popularized through pop culture. So having activations or just leading with these players that have loved the game so much that it's their full-time job would be something to be really smart and lean on. I'm excited personally.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. You know,
I'm gonna play the
We're-
hell out that game.
We're really looking forward to it, and you know, I'm like I said, really excited to see what kind of advertisements we get around this whole thing.
I'm very much excited about who's going to be on the GTA stations because
yeah.
Grand Theft Auto has a lot of people. I need a Pink Panther station. I need another Tyler the Creator station. I need a Beyonce station. I need to listen to Single Ladies while I'm possibly doing a high-speed chase in GTA, of course. Everything is in GTA.
So, you know, moving forward a little bit here, when we're sticking in this world of like cultural predictions, I feel like something we saw happen in 2025 was anime really dominate in North America in a way that we haven't seen before. And I feel like it's safe to say we haven't really seen the peak yet, but we saw some pretty crazy anime things this year. You know, we saw Demon Slayer come out. That was the biggest international film ever.
Yeah.
We saw the Chainsaw movie come out, and that beat the Bruce Springsteen biopic in the box office, which I think is kind of a shocking thing when you talk about like an A-list American celebrity losing to Chainsaw Man, which like no offense to the Chainsaw Man fans, but like it's a new brand compared to Bruce Springsteen. And it just goes to show like where the North American consumer mind is, how creative some of these stories are. And there were so many other things that happened this year in the world of anime. Like you had One Piece and the Dodgers release like a new trading card. That trading card's now worth thousands of dollars.
Crazy.
Meanwhile, like last week, the NBA and One Piece announced a new figurine set, going crazy. I talk about One Piece all the time. I just think it's like Harry Potter and people don't know. So I'm excited to see where this all goes going forward, right? Like,
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think anime is going to take over like cartoons? Is it still going to be niche? Like, where do you think it's going to go?
I think it's far past niche at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like we're talking about like, you know, like the world will stop and stare when certain brands come out. Like we're looking at Jujutsu Kaisen next season. That's going to be a huge ordeal. And I just can't wait to see what happens when Naruto finally releases those next episodes.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a moment of like pure like joy for a significant amount of people.
So I definitely agree. Anime has not reached its full potential. It has not gone plus ultra when it comes to the American market. And I feel like people that really help amplify and normalize anime and pop culture are definitely groups and content creators on Instagram and other platforms that center around anime and other pop culture and niche items. I'm thinking about groups like RDC World 1. I'm thinking about Caleb City. I'm thinking about there's this content creator and he makes a lot of anime-based skits called like Tony. I can never pronounce his last name. Of course, icons like Megan Thee Stallion that constantly does cosplay of her favorite animes, and each Halloween that she does at least one anime character. So she did Choso from Jujutsu Kaisen, and that just really amplifies and modernizes anime, what was once seen as like cringy and nerdy, as something that like it's a standard. Like if you don't know the big three, the current big three, and the previous big three, don't have a conversation with anime with me. I'm one of those people. I'm sorry. Like I have to stick with my.
And you
guns.
just named so many people, and you left out people like Miles Garrett, Jamal Williams, like
Yeah.
these athletes that have just made it so like acceptable to the like, you know, it's just such like a point of like, you know, pride. And I actually like gotta admit, my favorite pop culture moment of the year, you know, Justin Bieber was big, but it's actually Tom Brady wearing the One Piece shirt on Fox News. Not Fox News, Fox Sports. You know, like just an amazing moment. So subtle, but like went all over my Twitter. Was super excited to see that happen.
I definitely love that.
Yeah.
I have like a little prediction of my own. I feel like brands are gonna be outside all 2026.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Outside.
We're-
I'm talking activations. Everything. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, well, we saw a bunch of cool stuff this year. So I remember the King of the Hill activation for sure.
Yes.
You know, I'm a big Koth fan, so when I saw that happen, I was like, dang, if there was ever a time for me to have a ticket to LA, it'd be right now. We saw Netflix open a Netflix house in Philadelphia, King of Prussia. I know that's not Philly, but close to Philly. And I don't know if you guys saw the Smiling Friends activation
Yes.
that just happened in Brooklyn.
No, tell me about it.
Lines for hours, and it was free, so you know everyone loves a free event, but you could just see the fandom like oozing out of these like TikToks and these reels, and people just so excited to interact with the big smiling sun. There's so much opportunity for these brands to be, you know, with people outside.
I agree. I mean, even TV shows like Severance, if you guys haven't heard, they did an activation in the middle of Times Square. So they had set up their entire set and were playing like the show, but it was in front of people who were trying to take a train. So they were able to like watch the show as they were like on their way to their commute, their destination. So I agree. Like we're definitely going to see a lot more brands that traditionally were online or other modes of marketing. They're definitely going to move to experiential because, like you said, that authenticity is what builds loyalty when it comes to.
Yeah,
the
and I
fan
think
base.
of like brands that do it really, really well. Telflar is definitely on my top. They're very interactive. Even with their flagship store that's in New York City, they constantly do activations. Like it's like you walk into the store and you're a part of the set. You don't know if you're gonna be on the next Instagram post. And overall, it's just super fun. It's super fun and super nice. I even saw a video where the creator of Tefar actually was on a Zoom meeting, and the different guests that were coming to shop actually just walked the runway for him, and then that was just their whole entire reel. Or they'll send like story times and do like Sims recreation of the story times.
Aw.
I definitely feel like it's a big thing for beauty and fashion brands, as well as just overall holistic brands. Like Topicals is killing it right now. They have a lot of destination-based brand activations, and Kai Collective is also catching up on that, where they send influencers and their top-serving customers who've been with them since day one on a nice trip to a luxurious place that's based off of the heritage of the brand. And I feel like more brands need to tap into that. And if Hanifa wants to call me and do a little brand activation, you know, I don't mind going back to the motherland for 2 or 3 weeks in order to relax with beautiful clothes on my
I
body.
know that's right.
Well, I think they're also going to get a little weirder too. Like we saw social media
Yes.
contests kind of like get a little bit more exciting this year, especially with like, you know, the performative man stuff. I
Yes.
think
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a perfect brand activation sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because you can use your own kind of stuff to let people play in a fun universe. The stuff I'm actually more excited about, though, are the people who play with senses. And we had some really interesting sense work this year, specifically when it comes to food. So we had the fruit that is dessert. I love those. We had Louis Vuitton with their chocolate activation. That was a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
And just this past week, Kith announced they're opening their first restaurant, which to me, that's the platform. Everyone loves a high fashion, high dining experience, right?
Yeah.
We could see
Yeah.
that happening with all of these luxury brands. So there's
Oh,
definitely
we're
an
gonna see
opportunity.
that for sure.
Yeah.
Anyone who can play with that, like, you know, feel, taste, smell, sight. You know, there's so much room to be creative.
Yes, I definitely agree.
Well, so moving on here, you brought this to our attention.
Indiana, stand up. As somebody, oh my gosh, I love being born in a goated state. I was born in Indiana, fun fact.
I didn't know
And
that.
who else is from Indiana, born and raised? The Michael Jackson of the Jackson 5. #1 artist, king of pop himself, is having a biopic with none other than Jafar Jackson playing as Michael Jackson. So interesting. Love it so much. Love it down. You guys can take it away, but I'm going to be
Okay.
smiling throughout this whole segment. It's a
I
great
love
time.
that Jafar, his nephew, is playing him. Like,
Yes.
duh. I feel like that was the obvious choice. But can we just talk about Fabio for a little bit?
Let's address the negativity in the room. There's a very
We have
famous
to.
Michael Jackson impersonator. His name is Fabio Jackson. I don't even know if that's his legal name. But he was basically mad that he wasn't casted as Michael Jackson. Even though the joke of it all, Michael Jackson is the king of petty. So Jafar Jackson is Michael Jackson's brother's son, right? The first Jackson that left the Jackson 5 and had active beef with Michael Jackson's son is playing Michael Jackson. It's a full 360
Oh,
joke.
that's so
If
funny.
you don't catch it,
I didn't catch that, but that is so funny.
I had to clock it to
Yeah.
everybody because it's hilarious. Fabio, you're not a part of the family. I have to say this. You can zoom in on my face. I don't care. You're not a part of the family. You're not a part of the Jacksons. You legally changed your name to Jackson. Stop playing with my goat. You were never going to be in there. But if there was ever activation for, the weekend opening premiere, maybe you can come slide through literally.
No, I want the homeboy who slides on his knees.
Yes.
I want that Michael Jackson.
He's
And
been there
stares you.
since Oprah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's been the Michael Jackson impersonator since the
Yes.
90s.
Oh, wow. He's been doing this for a minute.
He's established. Now that's a Jackson.
I actually want to hire him at one of his
Fabio,
shows.
you're not a Jackson. That's a Jackson.
Well, I knew when you brought this to our attention that this had to make it into this, right? Because this is going to be a whole ordeal. And when you think about the charts,
Yes.
it's going to be Michael Jackson.
It's
the
going to.
entire build up, it's going to be popping. So, got to have a look out for that one.
It's happening now. I feel like I'm hearing a lot of Michael Jackson on the radio.
Yeah.
Well, he's always on the radio. But
Oh, yeah. But I feel like it's ramping up.
yeah.
You know,
I
I love Michael.
I will
alright?
say I had an occasion at the mall recently, and I did see a lot of Michael Jackson vinyls out there, and I was like,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep.
Y'all don't realize we're about to talk about this, but maybe they do know.
Yes.
Maybe they know it's coming.
And it's always a tender subject when it comes to biopics. Not too many people do them because it's really hard to get them right. And also, a lot of the people that they do biopics of are very much loyalists and nitpickers. So it's very interesting how this Michael Jackson biopic is going to play out. I just hope that 3 things happen. The Michael Jackson Experience by Wii that Nintendo made comes back somehow. The Michael Jackson impersonators, I need an activation of them somehow. And I need Chris Tucker. You can zoom in.
Yes.
Chris, I love you. Every year you go to Gary, Indiana, and you do your festival. I need you to show up and show out for this premiere. You, LaToya, Janet, everybody line up, do the dance, and I'll be fine.
Well, let's just hope that they don't pick a time to premiere where there's also a hit anime movie coming out, because you don't want a Bruce Springsteen situation.
Yeah.
I doubt that happens. There's no way lightning strikes twice, but just a word of warning to them. And we couldn't talk about things we're looking forward to without talking about the World Cup.
Yes. Sports.
Huge
Yeah.
sports moment. Huge moment for the United States and Canada and Mexico. First time the 3 countries have ever hosted something together. It's going to be the first time we have debuts from places like Cape Verde and Jordan having teams. And it's going to be the first time that there's a 6-time World Cup player in Ronaldo. Personally, I'd love to see Ronaldo, actually win it this time.
Oh,
I love Ronaldo, but it is
It's going to happen. It has to happen.
We'll see.
God can't give everybody everything.
Yeah,
You got to be nerfed at some point.
At some point.
You can't have it all. That's greed.
We can agree that, it probably won't be the U.S., even though, gosh, they've been trying to get that program right.
Yeah, they're good at all the other sports, but leave soccer to the rest of us. I'm sorry.
But when it comes to the world that we all kind of live in, I think there's some really, really interesting things that can happen. Like, there's 16 cities this is taking place in 3 different countries.
Yeah.
What kind of brand activations could we get from that? Are there collectibles that you could get in like different places that kind of all line up? Or maybe a race to go to all 16 cities?
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's such a world for like a strategic way in. Somebody's got to do something really cool.
Exactly. Whether it's coming from transportation to have all the participants or even the spectators go to and from the stadiums, it would be really easy to have an automobile-based company that's reliable to be able to sponsor these events. And if you think about it, a lot of these countries don't necessarily have big spaces or public spaces where they can go and watch the matches in real time. So having a company that's able to sponsor streams over large mass of people, so that way everybody can enjoy the World Cup, because let's face it, the world loves soccer. Everybody loves football. Football is life.
Well, it'll also be an interesting moment to think about, you're going to have people from all over the world. What are those ubiquitous brands that people all know? It's going to be a little bit of a litmus test for like a global society. Like, okay, we all know McDonald's, we all know Coke, but what else?
Yeah.
And equally, like, who can win that favor? Like, who's going to be able to like stand out in a sea of everybody and say, we're actually worth noticing during this event?
Yeah, I definitely agree. If it's one thing that I learned from uncles and older men in my life who enjoy soccer, they love beer. If you're a beer company, hop on, please. Like, they're gonna need it because they're gonna be stressing over their teams, and I'm gonna have to hear everybody arguing over what soccer is better. I don't know. Goal, score, Team Abbott Elementary. That's all me. I don't do the sports thing, but I support the winner every time.
Oh my God.
Just to wrap up here, I guess, do we all want to say a little personal goal we have for, 2026?
Yeah. Bree, do you want to start?
Yes, so I definitely want to travel more and try to understand the world around me. I definitely feel like I have a lot of my own personal growth from when I travel and try new foods, meet new people, experience different languages. So that's definitely on my to-do list. And like not the traditional, like, let's go to Jamaica or let's go to Panama, as Homeboy said. I'm not going to do that. I want to go somewhere like kind of offbeat, somewhere where I can really like learn about myself and not have to rely on technology while I'm there. So yeah, that's mine. For
me, this is a little lame, but I really want to listen to more music.
That's not lame.
Yeah,
that's
well,
cool.
I've got my Spotify. I
Yeah.
do listen to like a fair amount of music, but I want to expand my variety, and I want to be able to like get into things that I might not be into right now.
Yeah.
Get some real off the wall stuff there. And I already have a fair bit of off the wall stuff. I mean, like, I expected 100 Gex to be my top band of the year. It wasn't, but I expected that. So I really want to get into some like different stuff and just expand my my portfolio of stuff I listen to.
I love that. I have recommendations after Culture Lab, but I have a personal goal. So I met a celebrity over the summer, and their name is Duo. And me and Duo, we had an on and off relationship for a little bit because I just wasn't consistent on my end, and I'm so sorry, Duo. I let you down. But I really want to learn another language. I'm thinking about Haitian Creole. I don't know. I just feel like I listen to a lot of like compa and like Haitian music. So I just want to be able to fully immerse myself. And when I go to New York, I want to act like I'm Haitian. Why not? And I also want to save more money. I'm great at saving money until I look at the money that I saved. It's a toxic cycle. So I really want to change my ways. You know what I mean? 2026 is coming, and I just have goals, and I got the plan, I got the platform. I just need to be consistent. So I really need to save more and spend less. Yeah.
Very good, yeah.
Well, on that one, great job, guys.
Yeah.
Great
And,
job.
wishing you all a happy holiday. Great rest of your year.
Bye.